So Marvel dropped this Avengers Doomsday official teaser trailer today in front of the Avatar movie. No big battle, no multiverse, just a familiar face in Steve Rogers that was confirmed and not a Steve Rogers variant or something like that or recast Steve Rogers. The Chris Evans Steve Rogers is back. And now that Chris Evans is back as Steve Rogers, that raises a lot of questions that I want to get into in this episode. And on top of that, Cap has a baby now. Although this was kind of teased in another film, it was never really confirmed. And it does bring up more questions about the timeline and where the Steve Rogers fits in it. So let's talk Avengers Doomsday, the Steve Rogers trailer, because there are other trailers that are rumored to be coming, but we'll talk about those later. So the trailer starts with a motorcycle rolling down the road in a 1950s style neighborhood, it seemed. It pulls up to what we know as Peggy Carter's house. It was the same house from the end of Avengers Endgame. And we see somebody putting down a helmet and then somebody walking up to a house and there's a silhouette and it's clearly Steve Rogers. We know that pretty instantly. But in this shot, there are no words. It's just the Avengers theme. But if you notice, it's kind of slowed down a little bit. It's honestly kind of sad. That little piano key beat. And maybe that's kind of foreshadowing what's coming for Steve Rogers in the Avengers Doomsday movie. They could have opened this shot with anything. Some massive CGI scene, a battle, Doctor Doom. It could have been anything, but they took the time to open this trailer with Steve Rogers in the 90s, showing him with a happy life. And I don't think they did that for nothing. For me, this tells me that at least a part of this movie is going to be about Steve's choices. Maybe he wasn't supposed to go back and stay in the 1950s and have a happy life. Maybe he was supposed to stay in what we know as the current MCU timeline. And the rumor is that Steve Rogers going back and staying is going to cause an incursion event that pisses off Doctor Doom. But anyways, back to the trailer. Inside the house now, we see Steve going up to the closet where he has a packed up Captain America suit, the same one from the Avengers Endgame movie. And it's packed up neatly, and he puts it in a box and he closes it and seals it. For me, it was the body language in this shot, kind of looking at the Cap suit like he's looking at the Cap. For me, it was the body language in this shot and how he's looking at the Cap suit. It kind of signals that maybe he's done. This is behind him. Like, he is not a superhero anymore. He's a family man now. And we'll talk more on a family man thing in 1 second. But, he went back to build his life with Peggy, and now he's actually living it. Or is this a sly way of saying that, oh, maybe he just got done with a mission back in the 1950s. Maybe he's trying to correct that timeline because he knows what's coming up in the future, because he's been there. But I believe they put the suit in this shot just to tell us that this is Steve Rogers. This isn't a variant. This is the old Captain America because Anthony Mackie's character is Captain America now. But this is the original Captain America. This is not somebody different. And then we get the image of the baby. Steve is cradling a baby, extremely happy. You could tell by the smile on his face in the shot, and clearly he's happy to be a father and a family man and done with the superhero world. And this shot alone raises the stakes of what may happen in this movie. It also raises a lot of questions of what connects Steve Rogers to Doctor Doom. When Tony Stark snaps in Endgame and his face is all burnt up, does he actually survive that and maybe somehow becomes Doctor Doom from that moment? I doubt it, but it was just something crazy I just wanted to throw out there. But it's possible because Steve Rogers is coming back now. And we also know that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Doctor Doom. So how is he Doctor Doom? Where is he from? What universe? What timeline? And we know Steve Rogers is more than likely going to go to battle in this movie. But this time around with the kid, this is why I say the stakes are different for him now, because now it's not all about saving the world anymore. He has to worry about his family. And could that one thing end up in his demise? What if Steve Rogers dies in this movie? This movie has all but said this is going to be a soft reboot of the MCU. So there are going to be some major characters dying. And while he's not old, he's probably not going to be playing Captain America for another 20 years. So Steve Rogers may die in this movie. And after the shot with the baby, we get a cut to black scene that reads on the screen, says Steve Rogers returns in Avengers Doomsday. also confirming that Chris Evans is coming back as Steve Rogers. They didn't do the set chair announcement. And speaking of that, real quick, we knew they were going to do other set chair announcements. So this is obviously probably the set chair announcement part 2, these teaser trailers, because the second one is rumored to be Thor. And I've seen some stuff on the internet today about the audio from that trailer being leaked. And I've seen some people transcribe the words from it or whatnot. And we'll cover that in our next video. And then finally, we get the Doomsday Clock. It is counting down until when the movie premieres. And there's a darkness in that. For this to be the first trailer with Steve Rogers, and then it ends with the Doomsday Clock. And I know the Doomsday Clock is part of the whole Avengers theme. And I know the Doomsday Clock is part of the whole Avengers, Doctor Doom. So, it's thematic. So I understand that. But to choose this as your first trailer to let us know that Steve Rogers is going to be important to at least some portion of this story, if not all of it, to end it with a Doomsday Clock, it tells me that maybe Steve Rogers is running out of time. A lot of these characters are probably running out of time, but Steve Rogers, particularly since this trailer was about him, is probably running out of time. So let's jump into a quick theory. We know that we got the Steve Rogers trailer today. So the rumors are probably true that the next trailer is going to be Thor. The third one will be Doctor Doom. But that fourth one is a mystery trailer. And it's more than likely what we would be like a usual teaser trailer for a movie. Or it may be a version of the full. Or actually, I think the full trailer is probably going to drop at the Super Bowl. That is the best time to drop a full trailer for the Avengers Doomsday movie. But if the rumors are true and the trailer next week in front of the Avatar movie, but we'll probably get leaks online before then. If that's true and it's Thor and then the following one is Doctor Doom, how do these three particularly connect this story? With Steve Rogers, we already kind of know that he went back in time. He may have tried to fix some things. He came back again. So I'm assuming he's in the same timeline, but he was an old man this time. And whatever he did when he went back to 1950 probably causes some type of incursion. And I'm going to say that it has some ramifications on Doctor Doom's world. We don't know where that is yet. It's probably not the Fantastic Four's universe because they would be involved, or maybe that's why they're coming to Earth, but I don't think it's that. I think it probably ties into Doctor Strange, and I think it probably ties into the Doctor Strange movie, The Multiverse of Madness, and that world where we saw that, Mr. Fantastic using Doom technology, which has been confirmed to be Doom technology. So whatever Steve Rogers did probably affects that world. That's my theory. The Thor of it, I believe the Thor of it is going to probably play into Loki. Because one, where has Thor been all this time? And two, what would pull Thor from whatever mini retirement that he's in back into action more than something that would affect Loki? And if Doctor Doom is going to be jumping through time and creating his own world and stuff like that, then wouldn't he want to meet Loki? If he's trying to fix the timelines or fix these incursions, wouldn't he go to the tree where Loki is? So that's just my theory. But how they all tie together, I'm not sure on that yet. Maybe each one of them has an individual interaction with him through the means that I just said, with the Steve going back to 1950s and Thor and Loki. So, and they know maybe they've teamed up before, so maybe that's what gets them back into it. But from there, I don't know. But for a small scale teaser, it was really good. My initial reaction was, what is this? And I probably had that because as a fan of the films, I probably wanted something bigger. I wanted to see the action, all that stuff like that. But when I sat back and I let it marinate and I thought about it, I'm like, man, this is a great trailer. When you hear the music I went to go see it in front of the theaters too. When you hear it in the theaters, it gives you a different feel. So that's just my thing. If you have time, if you have the money, because I know this is the holidays, maybe go check out one of the trailers in the theaters and see it for yourself. It's a nice feel. And the theater is just nice in general. But if this were the actual teaser trailer and we weren't going to get anything else, would this trailer pull you into theaters and make you be like, I got to go see that because Steve Rogers is back, Chris Evans is back as Captain America, and I have to see that? Me, I'm not sure. I probably would just because I'm a fan. But what would you do? And before you go today, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. It really helps the channel and it lets me know that you want more content like this. And keep coming back for more. There will be more Avengers content. And I will be breaking down that Thor video whenever it comes out as well. And I may even talk a little bit more about the Thor teaser leak that came out. But I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. See you later. Bye.